Ratna dešavanja na području Srebrenice predmet su raznih političkih manipulacija. Tema o kojoj češće govorila politika nego struka. Da li je vrijeme da se to promijeni? Dobroveče. Večeras ekskluzivno predstavljamo rezultate rada Međunarodne nezavisne komisije za istraživanje stradanja svih naroda na području Srebrenice od 1992. do 1995. godine. Naš gost je predsjednik komisije profesor Gideon Grajf. Professor Grajf, good evening and thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
First of all, you have completed big work. After all, are you satisfied with the results and the work done?
I think we can be satisfied because we have produced a very serious, very professional product which is faithful to the truth, to the historical events, is balanced, and the contributors to this excellent document are big experts. 10 excellent people from various countries. When I say 10 people, I mean myself as well. And each an expert in his field of science, well-known experts. I think as contribution to the truth and to the facts, it is a very important document. I would say when I submitted it this morning to the Prime Minister of the Republika Srpska and to the President Dodik, I really heard bells of history ringing around without any exaggeration. It is a day to remember. It is absolutely a day to remember because me personally, I'm very sensitive to injustice. And by this document, we correct, we improve the prejudices against the Serbian people, against the people who were active in the event of 1992 and 1995. I think, yes, concerning the question, we did a good, professional, serious work.
2 years
and this
of
is the importance of it. And we worked a lot of time. We didn't spare efforts. Each of us gave its energy, its time, its forces. We even lost one very
sadly
important member during the work, Mr. Giuseppe Zacharia. May he rest in peace there in paradise. So we worked hard. We worked hard, and I think the 1,200 pages are the proof of our serious work.
2 years, you said 1,200 pages.
Even more, I think.
Even more. How did you work in the Commission? Did you have all the relevant documents?
We did not receive all the relevant documents, although we pleaded and asked and made efforts to receive them. So we had to rely on our sources, which are witnesses, documents. We had a lot of documentation. We did the utmost to get every relevant document because we wanted our report to be objective, scientific, authentic, and reliable.
The very strength of this document is in you, in the scientists that stand behind it. What can you tell us about that people?
For us, only facts were important. No legends, no stories, no rumors, just the truth. We were faithful to the truth because we are serious people, we are scientists, and for scientists, only truth are the basis for their work, for the scientific work.
Can you present us and tell us who are the members of the Commission?
I'm really proud to be the chairman of such a good collection of personalities, so allow me to mention them by name and the country they represent. Professor Walter Manoschek from Austria, lawyer Markus Goldbach, one of the leading lawyers in Germany who dealt with trials of German Nazi criminals. Adenele Shinaba from Nigeria, who is an expert of criminal investigations. Professor Maria Đurić, which is considered #1 in the world of forensic investigations, the only Serbian representative, together with Professor Roger Bayard, also a well-known expert for forensic research. Professor Yuki Osa from Japan, who dealt with the conflict in Srebrenica in the last decade. Professor Stephen Meyer, Professor Lawrence French, and the late Giuseppe Zaccaria, who is an expert for media, himself a well-known journalist. So 10 excellent people. Each of them is an expert.
Did you have any obstacles or maybe pressures during your work?
I can assure you that even not one time, not a single moment, not a single second was there any pressure from anybody, from any side, from government, from people, from ministers, from secretaries. We were fully independent, 100%, 1000% independent. This gave us a good feeling that we can do whatever we think is the right thing without any pressure. Nobody tried to influence us, to tell us what to write, how to write. So I can sign with my signature that this work is 100%, 100,000% independent. It reflects our, when I mean our, the 10 experts who did it, it reflects our work, our opinions, our conviction that what we are writing is the event as it was.
So can you tell us what was the main focus of your research? It was Srebrenica from 92 to 95.
I would say we have come to two main conclusions. One is the definition about genocide. I'm Jewish. I know what genocide means. I belong to the old people who was subjected to the genocide in the history of mankind. Nobody can tell me what genocide is. And this event was no genocide, not at all. And we prove it. It's not because we think it is, we prove it. It was not a genocide, cannot be called a genocide, and if somebody uses it, it should be erased from history. This is important because accusations about genocide are very serious, because deciding to conduct a genocide is a very severe crime. And in this case, this crime did not exist. And this is very important. Of course, a crime was conducted, was committed, but this crime can never be called a genocide. And I think this is very important. It's not just the headline, it's not the name, it's the essence of the event. This is number one. Number two is the number of victims. We corrected the numbers. The number does not exceed 3,714 victims.
Bosniaks in July 95.
Yes, I'm talking about the events in July 1995. We had in our commission experts for counting, for calculating, and this is the number. And this should be written in history, not less and not more. Each person who dies is, of course, a tragedy, is a disaster. We are aware of it. But numbers are also important. So we give the framework of the title, of the definition. This is not a genocide, and I would repeat it 100,000 times. It's not a genocide, and the number does not exceed 3,000,7.
But when the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina is mentioned, genocide is topic immediately. Can this contribute to better understanding of the events in Srebrenica in July 95?
Of course, because using the term genocide reflects the intention. And in this case, there was no intention of genocide. And this makes the difference. It's another world, it's another existence. So it should be erased from history. And those who continue to use the term genocide have bad intentions. Are people with very bad intentions. From now on, from today, the term genocide should never accompany this event, because it's wrong, it's a mistake.
You did a lot more work than only Srebrenica 1995. You covered and researched from 92 to 95. Yes. What can you tell us about the Serbian victims in the area?
Thank you for mentioning this very important fact. This was forgotten. The crimes against the Serbian people. There was an activity, an hostile activity, which started 92, even earlier, of attacking many Serbian villages, attacking civilians, Serbian civilians. So instead of blaming the Serbians of being aggressive, the other side should have been accused. So something happened in the meantime. The aggressor has become the victim, and the victim has become an aggressor. And we correct this misunderstanding and this distorted description of history. So in many, many times, the Serbs were attacked and were not the attackers, were not the aggressors. You know, history is not a book of legends. It's a science like biology, like chemistry, like physics. And facts should be the only factor when we deal with historical description. Nothing else.
How many Serbian victims were there in the area?
Thousands, thousands. And when we calculate the years of anti-Serbian activity, we come to thousands, hundreds of villages, and mostly civilians. Not only, but many civilians. So I can say, if at all genocide should ever be used, it's against the Serbian people and not the opposite. Because there were plans on behalf of the so-called independent state of Croatia to eliminate the Serbian people by many methods. We know them. And I myself have conducted researches on this topic about the criminal regime in Croatia between 1941 and 1945. If there was a genocide at all, it's the genocide on behalf of the Croatian Ustasha side.
Maybe
this should never be forgotten.
Maybe you could explain us, what is genocide in general?
Genocide is a term which a Jewish Polish historian, Raphael Lemkin, have invented in 1945 and relates to the intention of one group of people to eliminate another people completely. As I mentioned, as a Jew, I know what this is, because Germany, Nazi Germany, had a plan under the title, the secret title, The Final Solution of the Jewish People. The result of this criminal program was that on this planet, not even one single Jew should have survived. Or in other words, I, Gideon Grajf, should not be here with you in the studio today because my parents shouldn't have been born. This planet should have been empty of Jews, not a single Jew. This is genocide, to make it clear to our listeners. And of course, such a plan was never used by the Serbian in Srebrenica or elsewhere. On the contrary, when I refer to the so-called independent state of Croatia, there was a plan that 1/3 of the Serbs will die, the others will have to emigrate, and the third part will have to change its religion, to convert. So and not vice versa, not vice versa. So to summarize my explanation, a genocide is a crime which means the total elimination, erasing from earth of a certain group of people because of religious differences, national differences, mentality differences, or just because you don't like the other group.
We can say in this topic that the politicians have dominated except of experts saying that something is genocide and something not. Now we are hearing the experts. Do you believe that this report will bring to peace and understanding of the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina?
This is mainly our goal, except of analyzing the events and removing the term genocide, as I explained, and telling how many victims were indeed in this event. we would like the parties to look forwards, not backwards. It's important in life to look to the future, not to the past. You cannot change the past. You can only change the present and the future. We would like the parties to start understanding each other, to negotiate for our children, for our grandchildren, to pave the way for a better future. This can be done. Even if the past is full of wars, of conflicts, of bloodshed, we can shape the future. This is possible. We just have the desire to do it.
Yes, but what needs to be done so that this topic does not become an obstacle to peace and coexistence?
I think those who read our big report, you need some time to read it, should accept that we were objective, that we were scientific, that we had good intentions, not bad intentions. And accepting this fact, this basic fact, I think this can be a cornerstone, a milestone for a better future. I believe it is possible, and all 10 members of our commission share this opinion like me. We have good intentions, not bad intentions. Only good intentions.
This is an international document.
Yes.
So it is available in the whole of the world. What do you
We would like all the world to read it.
Yes. What do you expect when it comes to the international public and the understanding of the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina?
I do hope that old prejudices against the Serbian people will not play a role in this, in the interpretation of this report. I would like people to read it with objective eye, if possible, and forget their old hatreds and prejudices and bad opinions, in order to pave that way that I've just described for a better future. I believe it is possible, but one thing is needed: goodwill. If you have goodwill, everything is possible. Every door can be opened to you. It depends on each individual who will read it, the report and believe what I've just said, that we had the best intentions in the world. And we did. We did have the best intentions, not bad intentions. All 10 experts, and really, I would like to thank each of them. They are great people, personalities from various countries, from Japan, from the United States, from Serbia, from Germany. The best people which could have been in one commission. I cannot imagine a better team.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I would just, as a Jew, again, explain that the ultimate term of genocide is the Holocaust, which Nazi Germany planned against us Jews. Unfortunately, it almost succeeded. 6 to 7 million Jews out of 17.5 million Jews were murdered, brutally murdered. If Germany would not lose the war, I wouldn't sit here today. I want our listeners, our viewers to understand this. The fact that I'm here is a miracle. It's just a miracle. Gideon Grajf shouldn't have been here in this studio in Banja Luka. Not only me, the whole Jewish people. This is the ultimate genocide, planned and partially conducted by Nazi Germany between 1933 and 1945. If they would succeed, this world would be a world with not a single Jewish person. Thanks God, they did not fully succeed, but 6 to 7 million is a very heavy toll we paid. We will never recover from this genocide, never.
I must ask you, is it an insult for you when you hear Srebrenica is genocide, when you know all the things you said?
It makes me angry, because this is not the correct term. It makes me very, very, very angry. And I say this after 2 years of intensive research. Absolutely makes me angry. And if I meet somebody who continues to use this, I will tell him how wrong he is. This term should never be used concerning Srebrenica. Never. Never, never.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.